Here's a handshake now, which means that match number 1 will be getting underway. Webb, in his 50th television appearance, will watch Pete McCordic looking for his very first win, shooting on the left lane of the championship pair, which Bo described to you a moment ago. Weeks average 224, Houston, Texas. And with his wife looking on here at Gable House in Torrance, he has opened in a perfect way. Now Wayne Webb, bowling out of Indianapolis, Indiana, native of Massachusetts. Unusual style, Nelson.
Wayne Webb started bowling as a junior bowler, but Chris, you're right, he has developed that low swing style of his. Wayne Webb used to hold the ball waist high, but he felt more comfortable holding it down by his side, and that kept his arm swing much straighter. As you see him drive through the line, ending up about 18 inches behind the foul line, slightly off balance on that shot, has left himself a relatively easy spare, the 2-4.
Webb marking with a spare, the 29-year-old who last year reached the TV finals 3 times without a victory. Which didn't, of course, make him happy, because this is a tough competitor. 16 titles in a 12-year PBA career. All right, running it out a bit, Wayne Webb. And McCordic, who marked with a strike in the first frame, shooting now in the second. The winner of this match will meet Mats Carlson from Gothenburg, Sweden, then John Gant of Independence, Kentucky, and Ricky Corona, like McCordic, a non-winner.
Pete, with the style that he's developed over the years, is almost a textbook style. 4-step delivery, slightly higher than shoulder arm swing, extended follow-through right towards the target. Off to a good start with 2 strikes. Could extend his lead over Wayne Webb to 20 pins with a 3rd strike here in the 3rd frame.
Pete McCordic, who was on television 3 times last year without a win, and today the winner will get $18,000, $9,500, runner-up $7,000, $5,500, and the loser of this match we're watching right now, $4,500. Webb now looking, hoping to double, 3rd frame, right lane. A 2-pin.
Once again, Wayne light on the right-hand lane. And what you have to watch with Wayne Webb is you see his ball sliding by the head pin, gets a good break as he leaves only the 2-pin, a simple spare. Is Wayne Webb is dropping his right shoulder more than he ever has in the earlier part of his career. And I think that's the reason he hasn't had a good year the last year and a half.
Wayne Webb on this championship pair crossed it twice, averaged 241, McCordic 206, and Wayne was one of 4 who shot perfect 300 games here during the week.
Watch Wayne Webb's eyes as he lines up. He looks down to see where he should mark on the approach. Then watch his eyes as he picks up his 2 spots in the lane. There's the early one, then down the lane, then back to the other one. Good movement.
Wayne Webb, 60 through the 3rd with a strike up in the 4th, trailing by 20 pins. We're in our very first match on the Professional Bowlers Tour. We'll be back. Here is a most prolific non-winner on the Professional Bowlers Tour. Pete McCordic of Houston, Texas, 33-year-old, father of 2, who has 3 in a row. Now shooting in the 4th frame, can increase his lead to 30 pins. That's 4.
In 14 previous championship round experiences, as you see wife Susie looking on, liking the action so far, Peter perfect through 4 frames. Pete McCordic has only won 1 match in 15 attempts. He's 1 in 14, but he has a new year under his belt, and he really looks sharp. He practiced very hard in November and December. Is perfect through 4 frames.
Make it 5 now for Pete McCordic. He and Susan have 2 suds as we get a replay of that shot.
The action of the 2-pin, it drives to the sideboard, taking out the 4 and 7 pins, and that's one of the big reasons the scores have been so high at the Gable House. You're rewarded with a strike almost every time you hit the pocket.
And Wayne needed that one. Cutting the lead to 30 pins. We asked Wayne earlier that he predicted in 1980 he'd be the bowler of the decade. How's he doing?
Well, in 1986, I had a real bad year. It humbled me. It made me work a lot harder. In the last 6 months, I've been working real hard, practicing 20 games a day. Now things seem like they're coming around. I'm working on my spares, and I'm starting to bowl real good again.
Okay, Wayne, he has two spares already in this match. A double up now, shooting in the 6th frame. Getting some consistency now, Bo, isn't he?
Right, Chris. Nobody has lost a pocket hit. The 2 shots that didn't strike so far today were shots by Wayne Webb. In both the 1st and 3rd frames, he hit light. He's been rewarded with 4 strikes, but he still trails this man by 20 pins, who is perfect through 5.
Now he has 6 more, and it's $100,000. McCordic, we asked him earlier about a New Year's resolution.
Well, this New Year's, I just decided to forget all my the past that wasn't successful and remember what was. Just start over. Jack Biondolillo said to say or think of heaven in '87. So that's my theory and goal for this year.
Jack Biondolillo, 1 of 3 to shoot perfect 300 games on ABC. Make it 7 in a row. All right. What a match. McCordic and Webb. We're going to take a pause and be back for more. Okay, don't miss today's Wide World of Sports. 3 parts and 3 exciting parts. And we have excitement here in Torrance, California live. Wayne Webb trailing by 40. He has 3 in a row, shooting in the 7th frame. His opponent has 7 in a row. Our first match. Still 30 pins, although he has strung 4.
The release of Wayne Webb, one of the great wrist actions in the sport. Look at that hand snap right around the ball, imparting it end over end roll, and watch it take the bite at the back end. All 10 pins in the pit. He trails by 30. Don't ever count this young competitor out. Tough, tough, tough. He's determined. He'll keep the pressure on McCordic. What happens there is Wayne Webb puts a lot of rosin on his thumb, and occasionally when he rocks from that down position, his thumb slips slightly. Good move to stop. Reset yourself. A lot of players, even the league bowlers, not concentrating enough to stop an errant shot. Good move.
And could smile even. Five in a row for Wayne Webb.
The power of Webb's ball. All 10 pins in the pit. And does he like it? Let's watch.
Okay, now on the lanes, the right lane with 7 in a row, shooting in the 8th frame. Four to go.
Chris, last week we saw our tournament winner, Kent Wagner, start with a string of 8 strikes in a row before being stopped by a 7-pin in the 9th frame. Once again, I'll tell you what, Pete McCordic's got a great shot at this as his wife looks on because he's pressed. He still needs strikes to win the match. It's not a cakewalk. Wayne Webb still has a possible 270 game. So McCordic doesn't have this locked up by any means.
9th frame. More. 9 in a row, 3 to go. And there is Susan McCordic. And boy, I'm dying to give away true values $100,000. Ed Langto and Dan Cotter quaking probably back in Chicago.
Webb's still in the match, though. He must continue to strike.
High hit, leaving the 9.
Great string for Wayne Webb as he had spare in the 1st and 3rd frames, strung 5 strikes in a row. Looks like an apparent spare here in the 9th frame. The best he can do would be 249. Normally a winning score in anybody's match, but not today, as his opponent, Pete McCordic, has a chance for a perfect game.
Wayne hasn't won a title since capturing back-to-back tournaments on the tour in 1985 when he won a light beer championship in Milwaukee and the Fairlanes Open in Baltimore, matching his 50th appearance on TV. And here's McCordic.
What is going through that young man's mind?
And now
a man who has never won a championship on the PBA Tour. Chris, I'll bet you there's many a player who has won a national title would love to have the 300 that McCordic has a shot at right now than any one of those championships. What an opportunity coming up in just a minute.
As we mentioned, Wayne Webb had one of the 4 300s during the week. Best games for McCordic, when you're looking, there's wife on the left, Susan, 288 and 279.
Some of the other 300 rollers this week, Mike Albee, Ron Palumbi, and Rod Pasteur. 4 perfect games. Wayne Webb can credit himself with 249 with another strike. Just not enough.
Big 249 for a man from Rehoboth, Massachusetts, now bowling out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And here we are now. 9 in a row, needs 3 more. Now he needs 2 and $100,000.
Pete McCordic, a great arm swing. He loses the ball slightly on the downswing. You see a ball only about 3 or 4 inches over the foul line, but direction is 95% of the sport. Solid in the pocket. The last player to stand in this position I can remember, Chris, was Johnny Petraglia. He had 11 in a row before finishing with 298. And I asked John, what went through your mind? He says, I went blank. The pressure was so much. Look at Pete shaking. 10 in a row.
One more. Ladies and gentlemen, just one more. And that couple, the McCordics of Houston, Texas, will be $100,000 richer.
Well, we gave away $100,000 in the U.S. Open just 4 weeks ago to another Texan, Del Ballard Jr. Pete McCordic, bowling immortality.
Is that a sight, Bo?
Within his grasp, one more strike. 1974, Jim Stefanich was the last time.
All right, here it is. Right lane. We have it.
Pete McCordic. The tournament's not over. We still have 3 games left, but he's put a big dent in the prize fund.